started here with Coach Harbaugh. Start on the left, Chris.
Coach, can you give us an update on Mike Hart, please?
Yeah, Mike had a medical emergency during the game, and he's in stable condition. He's going to stay overnight here in Bloomington for continued observation. Mike's a strong guy, and just abundant prayers going his way. Yeah, really can put things in perspective.
Aaron?
When something like that happens, how do you keep your team focused, or can you?
Yeah, just everybody in the moment. Everybody's, just their thoughts are with Mike. I mean, it's a mind work, and everybody around us was to just get him the care that he needed, and I thought that he was able to, before they took him off, looked like he was back. The most important thing is his health at that point in time.
Eventually we got to transition to football as well. So obviously you're able to score on the first half of on the first drive of both halves. You guys are doing really well when it's scripted. How effective has that been? And then what do you think is missing when things get a little out of sorts after that?
Well, I think Indiana did a really good job taking away the run game, trying to limit it as much as possible. And Blake is formed such a great back that he still rushed for 125, 130 yards again. And he's just so good. And I thought we were doing a good job coming off the ball. We just had to adjust some of the perimeter plays in the run game. Were especially being taken away. And I thought we did a good job making those adjustments. Other adjustments were to really put it in the J.J. McCarthy's hands. Let him throw the ball, and the receivers really responded. Ronnie Bell had a big day. I think 11 catches. Schoonmaker had 9. CJ had 2 touchdowns and a real fine catch. The one time JJ got hit, was behind Cornelius, and he made a good hit, which tells you what a good job the offensive line was doing in pass protection. So, I felt good, getting off the script too. That produced some big plays coming off our own 2-yard line, 98-yard drive. That was off script, and that was a huge drive, and the throwing game really was big in that portion. Other the way JJ responded, I mean, he was so cool and calm back there. A couple first downs with his legs, and it was pretty much on the money. 18 of 28 of 34, I think, somewhere in that range. I mean, that's pretty darn good. And 300 yards, and it's kind of cool. I think a lot of quarterbacks have been around, when they get that first 300-yard game, and I can do this now. I can really do this. And that's usually bodes well and propels them onward. There's just times that we just weren't, I don't know what the percentage would be, maybe 3/4 of the time we were playing Michigan football. It's solid and assignment sound, and maybe more, but there's some of the times that things were uncharacteristic. We're getting penalties, giving up cheap yardage on defense, or the false starts and miscues that we had on offense. And it'll keep us humble. We'll move on with this one with humble hearts, going into the big game against Penn State. And also got to talk about the defense. I mean, it was pitched a shutout in the second half, and we were at halftime. We were, hey, we got to have the best half of football. the season. Got to come right now, and get locked in. And I thought our defense did a tremendous job of that, totaling 7 sacks, all by a different guy. I think I'm right on that. 10 tackles for loss. It was the pressure really came, and the tight coverage, came along with it. And guys just understand they're good enough too. They don't have to grab. They don't have to interfere to get the coverage. And thought we made some great adjustments. Coach Klink was coaching it hard, and there was a lot of coaching going on, but really felt like that coverage tightened, and the pass rush started getting home. So all in all, yeah, we'll move on to happy for the win, and when the wheels touch down, and in Michigan, we'll get on to the big game against Penn State. Won't have a bigger win this week, and 6-0 sets us up for the big showdown against Penn State.
John?
I was going to ask about the defense, and when you have a quarterback dropping back that many times to throw, is it important that you guys have the sort of depth that you were talking about to be able to not just rely on 1 or 2, but having them come kind of in waves?
Yeah, with the edge guys, 6 really. I mean, Upshaw and Iabi and Mike Morris, Jalen Harrell, Derek Moore, Braden McGregor. It's a group, I think they're all really playing well against the run, getting off blocks, and also putting pressure on the quarterbacks. I thought the inside guys, Chris Jenkins, Mason Graham, and Mozzie Smith, all played really well in defending the run game. And last but not least, let's not leave out A.J. Henning. I mean, there's some big punt returns in this game. I think he had over 100 yards of punt return yardage. Some people call that hidden yardage, but it wasn't hidden in my opinion today. It was a big factor in the game. He did a great job, and even had one called back. Might have been a 20, 25-yard return. We had a block in the back call, which I did not see that where anybody blocked anybody in the back, especially Q got called for that one. I thought that was not a great call. But it was being called tight, and we gotta be things to improve, things to be better at. But like I said, probably keep us humble in a good way moving into next week.
Isaiah?
Jim, speaking of calls, did you get an explanation on the Jalen Harrell supposedly?
Yeah, I mean, I could tell what the referee saw, but it was one of those. It was wipe the brow, which I guess you can't do anything. I mean, that was the message that I got back. I mean, you can't do anything of any nature. And I pointed out a few other ways that players signal first down, and there's things. I mean, I think he's kind of equating it to some kind of throat slash, but it certainly wasn't. And as I said, that was called really tight on that one. And yeah, we just continue to keep coaching it, and we coach that one big time. I mean, no celebrations. You don't can't bring any attention on yourself. Is what the rule was. The explanation I got. So, which seems inconsistent because you see a lot of at times attention being brought to somebody's self through the rest of the game. Not for just go. All we can do is do that, do it better, not give it any kind of close to where you could, leave that as that type of a judgment call, is our message.
In the back, Sean?
Jim, when you relayed the message from Mike at that time, did you sense that the team settled down a little bit, felt the relief? And have you ever been anything like that to draw on?
No. No, I haven't.
Chris?
Coach, can you just talk about how Carson and Barnhart did pulling in and what a luxury it is to have him out there when something like that happens?
Yeah, it was great. I thought he did a great job. Great to have Cars back and healthy. And Trente probably has one of those dreaded high ankle sprains. But same thing that Carson had. Now Carson's healed and back, and we'll need to step up. And we have a lot of confidence in Carson. We have considered him a starter since the beginning of training camp.
Stand left, Brandon.
Jimmy Rolder had a lot of snaps today. As a true freshman on the road in the Big Ten, that's obviously pretty prestigious. So just your thoughts on his development, where he's at, and how he's earned these snaps.
Yeah, he's just been getting better and better. And I thought his coverage was good on he got tested in the passing game as well. Which is really good because his forte is the run stopping, physical type downhill linebacker. And as Scott Kehoe says, just keep hammering people. Good things will happen. So, he's been raised right. So it's good. That was part of a three-way text between me, Jimmy, and Scott this past week. Took the heart.
Last question here with Austin.
You mentioned telling the team at halftime that they needed to play their best half of football of the season. Can you maybe elaborate on what your message was to them and how you felt like they responded to it?
Yeah, we're going to play our best half of football of the season. Yeah, all we're asking is everything you got. And it's going to be needed. I thought I responded well. I mean, the stat right going is 21 to nothing in the second half.
All right. Thank you.